coming to you now from the airport on my way back from Eretz HaKodesh. So I just wanted to say over בשלח. I feel like that I'm the one being sent out, but I was aimed on a few of art and what comes with Kedushas Haaretz. So I heard a shir from somebody who was saying that you have Chazal tell us in many places that Ezehu ben Olam Haba and who's going to be Zeicha in Olam Haba, and many different expressions of Olam Haba. And it seems to be shver. Like in one place it says this type of Olam Haba, in another place it says ben Olam Haba, all different types of Olam Haba. So the person who was saying the shir said that the pshat is, his pshat was anyways, which I'm not so maskim to, is that he gave a mashal that when you're coming to customs from overseas, let's say into Newark Airport, so you go into the line for American citizens, so they rush you, take you right through, 5-minute wait, 1, 2, 3, you're in. When you come to the people who are not American passports, then it's a different story. Then they line takes very long. What are you doing here? What do you want here? Why are you coming here? All the things that go along with it. So that was his taich of that somebody who's a ben Olam Haba, who's zeicher to a higher place in Olam Haba, so he'll have a short wait till get right in. When the people who are not so zeicher to Olam Haba, so they have to stand in line and wait a long time. Which I'm not masking to it, because simply Olam Haba is not the wait to get in. The Olam Haba is once you're in, what are you going to get when you're there? So obviously, just like in Olam Hazeh, there are many different levels of Gishmak in Olam Hazeh. Alachas Kama V'Kama in Olam Haba, there are many, many different levels in Olam Haba. So I need to tell you a story. And there was a gewaltige story that I was by my father's Kever. There was a minyan there. Somebody came over out of the blue. He said over a tremendous story from the Bach. It's probably a well-known story. I just wanted to say it over. The story is as follows: that the Bach, who I believe lived in Krakow, when he was nifta, he left over in his tzava that nobody should be buried next to him. It should be left empty. So there was a certain yid who was a big oisher. He was a balabas, a very fine person, but he wasn't necessarily, or certainly not on the same level as the Bach. He decided that he wants to buy the plot next to the Bach and he wants to be buried next to him. So the Kever Kadisha, of course, told him there's no way you can do that, we cannot allow it, it's 100% forbidden, but we can't, we could stop you, and they absolutely refused. The guy was very upset, so he decided, he took a big bag of golden coins, and he sat down with the head of the Kever Kadisha, and he told them, listen, this bag of coins is for you, you can go do all whatever projects that you had in mind to do, and you'll be able to keep the money out tonight that I get the spot next to the Bach. Feeling the pressure, the Kever Kadisha gave in and they took the money. So it wasn't after any time at all, because the guy went against the Bach, which is not pashut. So the Maisa, he was nifta the next day. So they didn't know what to do with the body. So on one hand, they said he had a tonight with the Kever Kadisha, he was entitled to be buried next to the Bach. On the other hand, they had the tzava of the Bach that nobody should be buried next to him. So they decided to go to the Bezdin, which is that Bezdin was run by the Taz. And the reason why they decided to go to the Bezdin, because this guy came in a dream to the head of the Kever Kadisha 3 nights in a row, saying that, I paid full price for that spot in the Beis Olam to be buried next to the Bach. You took the money, and now you owe me to bury me there. And if you don't do it, I have major tinus, and I'm going to have tinus from upstairs. So of course the guy with the Kever Kadisha didn't know what to do, and that's when he decided he's going to go to the Daz and let the Bezin decide whatever is right. Well, that's what he'll do. The Maisa, they went to the Taz. The Taz paskin that interesting psak. They said they should open up a Kever next to the Bach, and if this guy's right to be buried next to him, he will climb out of his own Kever and go into the Kever next to the Bach, which, according to us, ain't Samichan al Anes. However, that's what the Bezdin of the Taz paskin. Next day, they came to the base Olam to see what happened, and with their Echnes, obviously, this person was laying in the Kever that was still open next to the Bach. So after that, they paskin, if this person was able to go after Lacha Misa into this Kever that's open now next to the Bach, he's a royal Lakach, and therefore we should leave him there. And that was the Psak Lamaisa. They left him there. What does it have to do with Pashas B'Shalach? It has everything to do. Because one of the Ikar Zachen that we learn in Pashas B'Shalach, aside from Kriyas Yamsuf, Kriyas Yamsuf, of course, is the highlight of the parasha, but afterwards, especially on Tuesday, everybody's very busy saying Parashas Haman. So first to say over one shtickle from Kriyas Yamsuf, somebody came over to me and asked me a shaila. The shaila is that why is it that why is it that I could why is it that it says Kriyas Yamsuf beforehand, but in the whole davening and in the whole nach after talks about Kriyas Yamsuf, it says Beikeya, always a lashon Beikeya, Beikeya Yom Lefnei Moshe. What's the difference between a lashon Beikeya and why is there a lashon Beikeya and everywhere else a lashon Kriyas Yamsuf? So we've spoken about many times the difference between a Roshim and the difference between a Shefa. When you get a Shefa, so it comes down to you and it does you very good, and it does you good, so it's wonderful, but it doesn't leave a lasting impression. By Yitziyam in Hamakim, like as we learn from Yaakov Avinu, by Yitziyam Yaakov in Hamakim, so he makes a Roshim stays la'olam, an impression stays la'olam. But Masha Enkein, something that happened doesn't necessarily stay la'olam. It's there, it happened, but if you take it and bring it to the next level, then it'll be considered a Roshim, and a Roshim stays forever. Rebbeinu Shalom, the whole world that we have B'hai Alma is only B'Teiras Roshim, not B'Teiras anything else. As you know, the world started off with an Ein Sof. Rebbeinu Shalom was Mitzamtzim Atzmai, and he left behind a Roshim, and we all live off the Roshim that he left behind, because that tremendous that he was going to put in this world, we're not able to be makabel that whatsoever. However, we also know that everything that's connected in this world downstairs has a sherish in upstairs. There's a olam ha'tachtain and a olam ha'elyain. And how does it negaya to this week's parasha? So as we know, there is a thing called the man, which is called lechem min hashamayim, and then when we make a bracha and we eat bread, we say hamaitzi lechem min haaretz. So what do you see from there? You see from there that there is always a sherish lamaila and a payal lamata. Obviously, it's not the ikar reason why we have mishnah lechem, but it could be also construed as that the lechem min hashamayim is one, and the lechem min haaretz is two. So we have them both together. And why do we have it dafka Shabbos? Because Shabbos is me'ein olam haba. It's like a bridge between the Elyonim and the Tachtainim. So therefore we put together two lechamim, which is Zeichel Lamon, and Lamon was lechem min hashamayim, which is me'ein olam haba. That's why we dafka have it on Shabbos. And also, as you know, that lechem is oisiyos melach, and there was a conflict between the Elyonim and the Tachtainim. What was the Rebbeinu put some of the melach downstairs? So what was the piece for them? That I'll call Krambancha Takriv Melach. as you know also that lechem, which is the word straight, which is b'chinas hachesed, and melach is the same oisi as backwards, which is b'chinas hadin. Also the fact that melach is salty. Salty does not taste sweet, always needs a hamtaka. Therefore we dip the lechem, which is sweet, into the salt in order to be mamtik the melach. It's also in order to create a yichud between chesed and din by putting the lechem into melach. Therefore, we created a yichud between elyon and tachtai. So, in order for that to take place, so we dip the challah into the melach. And what's the sherish of lechem and melach? If you take Shem Havaya, which is Gematria 26, times 3, the 3 come from the several different makaros where 3 Havayas come from. One of the more common ones is Birkas Kayanim, that it has 3 Havayas in Birkas Kayanim, and those 3 Havayas are the Hashpah, which comes down in the Hayalma, which is Mashpia on everything, especially in Eretz Yisrael. We have, even by Minhag Ashkenaz, so you have Birkas Kayanim every single day. In Chutz La'aretz we only have by the Sfardim. Therefore, just to show a little time why we have Pashas Haman right next to Kriyas Yamsuf, it's Nachamol, same idea, that you had a Nes bin Hashemayim to Klal Yisrael, Aha Oretz, and they weren't just Aha Oretz, they were below Eretz, because when the Rosh Hashanah split the Yamsuf, you went below. It's also showing you that there's a Gilui. Typically the ocean is Mayim, there's Kasya. Everything is covered up. There's no Gilui whatsoever. When you split the Yamsuf, then it already was uncovered. So that was showing you that in Shemayim, everything is covered. Right? Shemayim, that's the idea of Shemayim. Everything is covered up. That's what Mayim shows you. But Aretz is not covered up. Aretz is Begilui. So it's also showing you again how everything comes together as one. On that note, I'd like to say also Nacha Ein Zach, that you see in Eretz Yisrael in general, without going into any political things, it's also a land of extremes. Whatever the Rishonim are extreme Rishonim, the Erev Rav is an extreme Erev Rav. The Talmidei Chachamim and Torah being learned here is also very extreme. And the reason is because it's a concentration of Shechina that you have in Eretz Yisrael. The Rebbeinu Shalom is the closest land in this world that to Kudsha Brichu is Eretz Yisrael. So Mela, there's a much greater hashpah coming from the Shechina into Eretz Yisrael. Mela, since all Tumah is yonik from Kedusha, so the Erev Rav, which is yonik from a much higher place in Kedusha, has a much higher level of Tumah. And so to the Kedusha is also a much higher level. That's why the extremism what you have in Eretz Yisrael is much more and much worse than anywhere else. On that note, we should maybe all be Zeicha, Mashiach Tzidkenu, to come and live from Herav Yameinu by Eretz Yisrael.